David, you came from the Fatty Crab crew, so
The
you were
Fatty
part of the
Crew,
whole
that's
Zach Palacio Inc.
Yeah, for about the last 6 years I've been with them. But being able to come here and cook food that I'm passionate about and food that I love that I haven't had a ton of experience with. Jake was a fan of my cooking at Cabrito when I was working there, and when he needed to fill the position, he called me first. My main job is value add. You know, I take the cuts that we don't sell directly out of the case in retail, and I turn those into delicious hot lunches, hopefully. And we make sausages with scrap, and we make terrines and pâtés. Yeah. You know, everything from chicken liver to country pâté to pork rillette to duck rillette. The classics that you would expect to see in an old French butcher shop, and stuff that I'm totally in love with and I get to do now, and I get to cook this food and I still have time at the end of the day for the family, so it's kind of...
Yeah, a lot of chefs out there saying,
so
whoa.
So far, so good. We'll leave it at that.
Why didn't Jake call me? Let's talk about this thing. This is the smoker, which is like a chef's toy that everyone loves.
Absolutely.
Normally, it's a hot smoker.
Normally in a restaurant, you would never take up this much of your hood space with a smoker, but
that's okay.
For what I do, it runs 7 days a week.
We notice it's off. You're running as a cold smoker today, and you've got hot dogs in here. So you're playing around with hot dogs.
Hot dogs is our latest test.
We're going to show what this thing looks like when it's in full-blown smoking.
Yeah, we've been smoking for just over an hour now. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
So here's cold smoke. So this is actually our first test run on cold smoke. We did them hot last week, smoked entirely through, and then finished with a quick poach. We're going to try and get all smoke cold and then poach them entirely, for which we think is going to give us a more even cook on the...
So they're going to get this wonderful smoky flavor from this, and then to cook them finally, they're just going to go in water to control the temperature.
Yep.
Beautiful, man.
Exactly.
What a fun gig.
It's a good gig.
I mean, everyone talks about Head to Tail as if it was invented in Brooklyn 3 days ago, and I'm like, dude, butchering's always been about head to tail. It's always been about utilization. Everything from the skin to the blood when you slaughtered to all those, and that's kind of what you're getting to play with.
Yeah, and that's kind of a dream job. I would think most chefs would consider it a dream job. It's the philosophy and the ethics of what we do here in the shop are certainly something that chefs and restaurants aspire to.
Yeah.
And the Fatty Crew always aspired to that, but there's times where you have to balance that with business.
Yeah.
And here, I try to explain it to people. It's like I'm no longer cooking under duress. We have the opportunity to make mistakes, and it's not the end of the world. If these don't come out great, I'll make another batch. Again, all about taking the bits and the leftovers and the fun stuff
and turning them into art.
See our little cold smoke setup, you get it?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's cranking right now.
This is pastrami. Is this the navel? Yeah. In keeping with this spirit of using the whole animal and doing everything in-house, which they do at Dixon's top to bottom, this is the navel, which is the cut that's supposed to be used for pastrami. People think it's the brisket. Brisket becomes corned beef. The navel becomes pastrami. 7 days in a marinade, a wet marinade. Coriander, mustard seed, a lot of salt. And you can see how it's penetrated the meat. You can just see that cure already a week. Now it's getting a dry.